Hey there folks, how you doing today? So today we're going to be going into a little bit of going through the process of updating from Proxmox 8 to Proxmox 9. My recent video covered just going over the bare bones stuff, like what it introduces for Proxmox 9 and Proxmox Backup Server 4. Now, I did mention in my last video that I was trying to update my own Proxmox system. My system just crashed out, essentially. It was my own fault, nothing through Proxmox, just me being dumb, not reading the documentation. You'll see that as we go through. I'll pinpoint exactly where things went wrong because my reading skills were not up to snuff that day. But with that said, let's get into things. Go through Proxmox 8 to 9, see what things you might run into along the way, how we can fix them, and let's get into it. All right, folks, so as I mentioned, my Proxmox system at my own home kind of went kaplooey for a little bit there, didn't get to record the whole thing and my inevitable freak out on it, but again, it was my own fault. So we have just a Proxmox system that I set up today, very bare bones, just has one VM on it, Perry Proxmox is the host name, and we're going to be going through the official documentation for upgrading from 8 to 9. So a lot of this we don't really have to concern ourselves with. I know it looks kind of daunting just scrolling through and looking at it here, but we are going to go through the installation process, the in-place installation. So there's two methods that you can do. Either do a brand new install, so blow up Proxmox 8, plug it in Proxmox 9 ISO, then you're good to go there, just re-importing, a little bit more work to do, or you can do an in-place upgrade, which is what I usually default to and what we'll be doing today. So with our in-place upgrade, there are a few prerequisites and ensure the latest version of Proxmox VE 8.4 on all nodes, so we can confirm that up here. Then we want to make sure, let's see, hyperconverged is a single server, so we're not too worried about that. Co-installed Proxmox Backup Server, again, don't have that. Reliable access to the node. This is where I made my mistake. So I just had the session like we see right here, the shell inside of the Proxmox host. I decided, I'll do my apt update, do my dist upgrade, all through here, all good, right until it started to get to the network restart. And then I lost connection and then started to run into multiple other issues. I had repos in there that I was pulling from that I probably should have cleaned out beforehand, caused a whole slew of issues, but shouldn't have that on this brand new instance. If we do, this video is never going to see the light of day. But with that said, we're going to make sure that reliable access, it is recommended to have access over a host independent channel like IPMI, which I did have, so I really have no excuse. If only SSH access is available, we recommend testing the upgrade on an identical but non-production machine first. Recommended to use a terminal multiplexer like tmux or screen to ensure the upgrade continue even if the SSH connection gets interrupted. So this system here, I didn't plug an IPMI into, but we are just going to do a quick install of screen. And there we go. Install screen, and that's going to go through. So then healthy cluster, again, single server, valid and tested backup of all VMs. That is good practice, but this is for much lower stakes because, again, it's just a test one. And also all of my production VMs that handle all of my Homelab infrastructure came up fine once I did actually fix my mistakes, but no issues with those. Long story short on that, that went through fine, but let's see what we get on here. At least 5 gigs of free disk space. That's another one. That one didn't mess me over, but almost did because ran df-h. I had like 98% of my boot drive filled. I was not in a good place to do this. I've been neglecting my home Proxmox server, but now I have alerting set up. I have all that good stuff there that I should have done years ago, but that's neither here nor there. So let's go to our actions step by step. So we're going to do our PVE 8 to 9. This is going to check over our networking, our VMs, containers, storage, basically see if there's anything that we should change in a warning, either an all go or a failure. So let's do that right now. PVE 8 to 9, and that'll run through. So first thing, it's going to check our packages. Oh, we have a few failures here. So let's actually go through. I actually did not run into this when I updated it myself the other day. So all packages are up to date. The package version 8.4, checking the running kernel version. That's good there. Cluster health, standalone, no hyperconverged. All right, virtual guest, there's one actually running. So let's do the smart thing and actually shut this down. So let's go here and checking for VirtIO devices. That's all good. VM machine versions are recent enough, miscellaneous. So this is just going through a lot of things that provide Proxmox specific services like the GUI, for example. Now let's go through and see what our failure was. Systemd meta boot package installed. This will cause problems on upgrades of other boot related packages. Remove systemd boot. And let's see, go to this link here. Okay, interesting. That popped up because I had the exact same version. Everything was good there. So let's go over here. And we'll take a look at it. We'll do this as we're going through because you might run into it. And of course, it just put me into the exact same thing. So let's see, we'll go to boot warning. So let's take a look here. Boot and whoop. Let's do a Control F here. Boot warning. Systemd boot meta package automatically and should be uninstalled. All right. So let's see what it says here for us. With Debian Trixie, the systemd boot package got split up further in the system boot EF5, containing the binary boot. Okay, Proxmox systems usually use systemd boot for booting and only some configurations, ZFS on root or UEFI without secure boot, which are managed in Proxmox boot tool. If the PVE 8 to 9 checklist scripts suggested, the systemd-boot meta package is safe to remove, unless you manually installed it and are using systemd boot. So let's go ahead and actually remove that. And we are going to do apt remove, and hopefully it is just the same as it is stated here. But let's see. Oh, systemd boot tools containing bootctl and the systemd boot meta package. Okay, so I doubt that this is going to work then, but I'm kind of curious. So let's just do systemd boot, and helps if you actually spell it right. Okay, actually we'll just remove that. All right, perfect. So that's going to go through real quick, and now we're going to do our PVE 8 to 9 again, and we should see that we don't have that warning for the Ubuntu VM, and this should be cleared up. So let's see now. Good. All right, we still have one warning there. So matching CPU microcode package not found, considering installing it. Yeah, okay. So ensure you enable the non-free firmware component in the sources list and run. And we've already done that before. We're on the no subscription, and let's just do that to make everything nice and happy here. Again, it's going to differ from environment to environment, but I'm going to listen to the script here and just apt update. Nope, no installation candidate, obsolete, or gotcha. Okay, so I ran into some issues last time with some of the packages here, so we'll leave that one off for now. Again, it is a test environment there, and I'm sure you don't want to see me struggle again with that. There'll be lots of time for that in the future, but let's just do a clear here, and we'll actually go over back here again, and now we'll do the full. It'll just do a check of everything, and assuming that it's gonna say about the same. All right, yep, so 0 failures, passed 33, total 42, skipped 6 things. So let's see, just a warning there. So again, probably best to actually look into it a bit more and update, but let's just proceed here. So move important virtual machines and containers. Again, don't have another environment here to move it to or anything like that, so we're just going to turn it off for now. It's not a production system, it's nothing like that, so we'll do a quick app update just for a sanity check, make sure that looks good. Perfect. And one thing I am going to do ahead of time is I'm going to cd to etc apt sources list.d, do an ls. We have one thing in there that is PVE Enterprise, so let's check that out. And HTTP Bookworm Enterprise. So let's actually, it is hashed out right now, so we'll leave it as is. So that shouldn't actually affect us in any way here or there. But let's go and do our apt update now, and we'll make this a little bit bigger there. There we go. So apt dist dash upgrade. All right. Oop. And what do I have spelled wrong here? Apt dist upgrade. Oh. There we go. All right, so we're already good there. Usually there will be some things to do ahead of time, but wanted to make sure that this one went as smoothly as possible there. There were no issues beforehand, but if you do have some things that populate, that's perfectly fine. So now we want to make sure that we are on PVE version 8.4.1. And 8.4.11, so we are more than good there. Let's see now. Hyperconverged Ceph, we can skip that for now. This is where my reading comprehension also failed me a bit. So the first things that it talks about is these two sed commands right here. So for PVE enterprise list, did not read that, I just did the old classic. Okay, yep, it says to do this. Let's not read any further into it. My own fault, and we're not using the enterprise repository. So that would just fail on us whenever we try to run it. Simple enough, just remove it from the etc app sources or sources list.d if it's in that directory. But let's go and ensure that there are no remaining Debian bookworm specific repositories left. Otherwise, you can put a hash symbol at the start there. So let's see. Add the Proxmox VE 9 repository. So let's do this first, and let's see what our current etc app sources list looks like. So cat /etc /apt sources list, and let's see what we have here. So bookworm. Now let's run that sed command, and this will change out everything that is referencing bookworm to Trixie. Let's run that again. And there we go, we can see that's all Trixie now. That one's good. Don't run this one unless you do have the enterprise repo. Add the Proxmox VE repo here. So this is the enterprise one. Again, me not reading, so let's go down. And if using the no subscription repository, C package repositories, you should be able to add the Proxmox VE 9 no subscription repository with this command. So this is just a simple one-liner here, and paste that, and then enter. So now, as with the enterprise repository, make sure that apt picks up correctly with the apt update followed by apt policy, then remove the previous Proxmox VE 8 no subscription repository from either the apt sources list, etc app sources list.d, pv install repo list, or any other .list file you may have added to it, run out of updates. So let's do a sanity check here. And you're gonna hear me say that a lot, but let's check our app. We already checked our sources list, but let's just do them one by one. Trixie. All right, not gonna be playing any Trixies on me. That was awful, I hated that. I'm a much worse person after saying that. I'm so sorry you had to experience that, anybody watching this, and Joe. So let's see now, let's actually look at our repo list. All right, so no such file or directory, but let's see what we actually do have in repo list. Let's see here, source list.d. All right, so we got Proxmox sources. Let's check what that looks like. And that is PV no subscription. And let's see what it is referencing to suites, Trixie, and let's see, PV no subscription. So that one's looking good. And we want to look at any other .list. So cat ceph list, and that's also hashed out. So perfect. And now that's good there. Update the ceph package repo. Again, single server, so we'll skip this, go down here a bit. Then we're gonna run our apt update, and we might get a warning here, but let's see. Yeah, a few things there. So configured multiple times in etc app sources list and list.d, Proxmox sources. So that's just saying that there's entries in the app list or sources.list and then the directory sources list.d in a directory there. Now, this can cause issues, and better to clean it up beforehand there. And this is one of those do as I say, not as I do sort of things, but we are just going to clear that for now. And then we're going to do our dist upgrade here. App dist upgrade, and there we go. All right, so you can see we have quite a bit to do here. We have about a little over 1 gig that is going to take up additional disk space here. So it is going to actually remove some older packages as well, just so there's no conflicts there and not extra disk space being taken up. So I'm gonna do this. And then as this updates, we can watch this on the side here. We'll go through some of the things as they pop up, because there are some updates that it is going to ask you about as it goes through. Won't ask about all of these in some cases. I remember when I updated mine, it didn't ask me about default grub or cronny or SSHD config, I believe. But we might get something a little bit different on this. We'll see what comes out. But another thing that is interesting that I like that Proxmox does, within this, they do have a link to actual breaking changes. So let's take a look here and see what we might be in store in, or if you decide to do this on your production, your Homelab system, what you might run into. So let's actually open you in another tab here and duplicate you. Do this in the most roundaway place possible. There we go. So let's see here, known issues and breaking changes. So potential changes in network interface names. One thing that you'll get popped up here, which is why you want to take a look here, like step away, grab a coffee or something while this updates, because you're going to be in for a good 10-15 minutes. But let's just do Shift G. We'll go to the bottom of this, press Q. It'll continue updating there. It's just listing everything that is available in the new Proxmox version. So keyboard layout, keep that as is. Configuration file, let's go back over here and actually check what it says about that. So that is the first one here. This one's popped up every time so far, so chances are you're going to see it. Proxmox VE will auto-generate this file on boot, and it only has cosmetic effects on the login console. Using the default node, keep the currently installed version is safe here. So we're just going to press enter. There we go. And let's see, configuring AMD64, restart services, and there are services installed on your system which need to be restarted when certain libraries such as libpam, libc, and libssl are upgraded, since these restarts may cause interruptions. And oh, you know what I just ran into? I just realized I am running this in the shell again. So, oh boy, let's do no on that for now, and we'll do this here, and then let's hope that it doesn't kick us out. But let's get this up just in case. And you know what? Let's just Control-C this. So there goes that. Go along with reading comprehension, making sure that you actually process what you say. It's always good. So much as, okay, so what did we get here? So let's see, operation interrupted before I could finish. I was about to say that not great to Control-C during this process, but I guess my hands thought otherwise there. So let's just do an apt auto remove to make sure there are no packages there that might cause issues. So a few other things that we'll likely have to do, but let's do that for now. See if it picks up anything. Yeah, there we go. Unmet dependencies. So let's do our fix broken install. And this is why you don't stop an apt update in the middle of the process there. So fixed broken and install. All right, so let's do this. All right, now let's try just apt update again to set everything up, see if we come in. Okay, same thing from before. And now let's do this the smart way. So here, and we're gonna go to repositories, updates. Let's go upgrade here. All right, perfect, that's what we wanna see. Oh boy, this video almost never seen the light of day, folks. I was saying, if that happens again. Oh, so now that, what are we at now? Heart rate at 130, that sounds about right. Scared me there a little bit, but So let's wait for this to go through here, and we'll take a look at some of the breaking changes that I was talking about there. Now, let's see now. Potential changes in network interface names. So Proxmox VE 9 can now transparently handle many network interface names. These changes may occur when upgrading from Proxmox VE 8 to 9 due to new naming scheme policies added in support for new NIC features. Might happening when upgrading from kernel 6 to 6.8 to 6.14. And if the previous primary name remains available as an alternative name, manual intervention may not be necessary, since Proxmox VE 9 allows for the use of alternative names in network configurations and firewalls. And what do we have here? So encoding, we're going to stick to our default here, UTF-8. And however, in some cases, the previous primary name might not be available as an alternative. So let's see. This one I found pretty interesting, actually. Don't know if this was something in previous versions, because mine was 1500 across everything for the MTU. But leaving the MTU field of a VirtIO VNIC unset now causes the VNIC to inherit the bridge MTU previously. The MTU would default to 1500. The PV 8 to 9 checklist script will detect VNICs where the MTU would change after the upgrade, which is really nice for that to be shown in that PV 8 to 9. So that is, they've thought about this quite a bit, I'm sure. It's probably happened in the past there or something like that. It's like, let's probably put this in this time. But with that said, AppArmor 4, so ships with AppArmor 4.1. Most issues with older profiles can be resolved by configuring AppArmor to use 3.0 ABI by adding ABI, then ABI/3.0 rule to the relevant profile. And there are few privileges removed, few added. There is, this one is going to hurt one person in very particular in my department in the service team. Support for GlusterFS is dropped, so no longer maintained upstream. Drop support for it. So that is going to be a rough week for him. He's probably never going to update past 8 now. So poor guy. Anyways, let's go through and see what else we have. So system logs, system is tainted, unmerged bin after boot. Recommend to ignore this message. Love when they say that. Yes, I will, because apparently I've done this on a lot of the steps throughout this. See the Debian Trixie release date notes for more details. So those are some of the big ones there. Let's go back and wait, because I'm sure a few other things within these prompts will come up for us. So let's just take a quick brief look at some of these while it actually goes through the process. Now, LVM conf changes relevant for Proxmox VE will be updated in a newer config version might be useful. If you did not make extra changes yourself and are unsure, it's suggested to choose yes. Install the package maintainer versions here. SSHD conf, if you haven't made any manual changes to your SSHD config file, you're likely going to be fine, but good to have a backup of it just in case. But always good to have a backup of all of these relevant files anyways before an upgrade or testing on another system, etc. Basically all the best practices they mention in here. Now let's see. Etsy default grub here, you may want to take special care as this is normally only asked for if you change it manually. Adding some kernel command line options is recommended to check the difference for any relevant change. Note that changes in comments, lines starting with a hashtag or a £sign are not relevant. If unsure, we suggest to select no, keep your currently installed version. So which one do we have here that popped up? Our LVM comp, and let's see what it says here. If you did not make extra changes yourself and are unsure, it's suggested to choose yes. So if it is asking us to choose yes, we're going to do that. Again, this is a brand new version, so might as well stick with what we know about it, which is there isn't much on it at the moment. So once it goes through there, next one that we should get is regarding SSHD config, but because there are no changes made to it, it may not prompt us on anything here. So let's see, global filter not found. And chronic conf, if you made local changes, kind of like the SSHD config, if you made any local changes into the conf D, custom sources, things like that, take note of that. and it is just going through. So your system is up to date. Seems you installed a kernel update. Please consider rebooting this node to activate the new kernel. So we're going to cross our fingers before this. We are going to reboot now and see what we get. And let's see, reboot. Alrighty. All right, folks, so we are back up here. Let's do a just quick refresh of our system here. Oh, love to see it. So we are on Proxmox 9.0.5 right now. Oh, sigh of relief. So with that said, if it didn't work, it was it. Friendship with Proxmox over. XCPNG is my new best friend, even though every mistake I ran through was one of my own making. With that said, we're back on. I'm just kidding. I love Proxmox. So let's go through and actually see if there is anything. What's different here? So we have our Proxmox or our ZFS version, which should be different. So let's just do ZFS. It's been a while since I did this. ZFS. It's just ZFS version, I think so. Yeah, there we go. First shot. ZFS 2.3.3, so we are on that. That's good. Let's take a look at networking here. So let's see, VMBR 0, alternative names. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's what I was talking about there. So, okay, and let's see. OVS, okay, we have those. And let's go and actually look at local network here. And let's see if we have anything else. SDN, and let's go and look at our zones, add, okay, VLAN, VXLAN, things are looking normal. All right. Oh, there we have our fabrics here. So, yep, Open Fabric, OSPF, okay. And that'll be interesting to play with in the future there because honestly, not entirely sure how it works, how it can benefit me, but that's where further reading is going to come in handy and learning along the way. But with that said, now that we are on Proxmox PVE 9.0.5, latest version here, are you all going to be updating? Are you going to be playing around with the new features there? What about Proxmox Backup Server? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you want to see what we have on offer, head on over to store.45homelab.com and also our social medias. If you want to see those are also in the comments, the description, whatever you want to call it, below. And anything, the upgrade, breaking changes, page, blah, 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 that's all going to be in the description as well. I'm Zach Perry. Have a good one, folks. See y'all next time. Take 437.
Yeah.
Let's go.